Thanks for joining me today. I'm Jerrel, a normal human being, and today I want to share with you the worst advice I can possibly give you. Lately, I've been sharing insight and experience and some advice with you, and I think it's important to keep in mind that no one is perfect, especially when you see people on the internet from a distance and you don't really necessarily know people on a deeper level. It's easy to sort of think that people are infallible and perfect, and I want to help you understand that not everything I say is perfect. I am still on my own journey of life, and there will be things that I can get wrong. The best that I can do is share my advice with you, share my information, and you can take it on board and decide for yourself whether I am right or wrong. Now, in 2022 and 2023, I was working 120 hours a week. As a solo developer, it takes a significant amount of work to complete and ship a video game. For the first half of 2024, I worked 130 hours a week. This meant that I had sacrificed basically everything that I would consider part of a healthy social life, and any other kind of work-life balance I gave up. I produced a number of exclusive titles for Nintendo consoles in a very short amount of time, and it felt impossible. There were times where it felt like neither my body nor my mind would be able to handle it. It was just an extreme amount of work, and it had to be done. And I want to share with you how I achieved my goals. And this is the absolute worst advice I could give you. And I mean this genuinely. This is not a joke. This is not I'm what you trendy young people call a meme or a clickbait or anything like that. I'm absolutely genuine when I offer this advice to you. And I hope you understand. This is the worst advice I can possibly give you. How I worked so hard and how I achieved my goals is this: snacks. These are a connection to my past. It's a moment in my life where I was younger, life was easier, and it was a time in my life where many positive memories were built. And what I would do is I would work. I would sleep very little. I would multitask. I would work until I was absolutely exhausted. And when it felt like I could not work anymore, I would eat my favorite snacks. Now, I do not usually eat this food because it is not healthy. I am now in my late 30s, and so there are times where I will need to find some way to increase my output in terms of work and productivity. You would say that you need more power, but there is always a cost to power. With this method, you will pay the price with your health, so you will have to balance it out long term. When I was working long hours, sometimes in the middle of the day, I would have to stop, take a break from the computer, and I would grab a bag of Cheetos. I would have Doritos, and I'm serious when I say this, I would just grab handfuls and shove it down my face, and it would remind me of a time in my life that was filled with watching Saturday morning cartoons, hanging out with my friends, drinking Mountain Dew, planning out road trips, going on road trips, setting up tent, hanging out in the mountains, camping with our Nintendo DS, playing games together. Those are memories and a time of my life that encourage me, and they really give me a stat boost. They restore my energy short term. It's this huge boost to energy, and it worked. When it felt like I couldn't go any further, when it felt like I couldn't do any more work, this absolutely worked. I would buy a bunch of candy and just fill up. Some may call it the piñata method, and it took a huge toll on my health. I paid the price for a while. I started developing a number of health issues, and so of course you need to be careful, because when you pay this price for power, you need to understand how to recover that cost. So I am now back to regular body conditioning. It is important for me to keep up regular cardiovascular exercise, whether that is bicycling, hiking, weightlifting, and whatever other activities you are capable of performing. So another piece of advice I can share, this one is actually quite useful. If you, like me, have to work at a workspace, look, you cannot be working with Cheeto hand. You cannot get Cheeto hand on your keyboard, on your game controllers. So I advise implementing a utensil thusly. This is chopsticks. Generally, these are made as training chopsticks. This one here has a depiction of a giraffe, which is an animal primarily identified by its long, long neck. You can use these to actually pick up your Cheetos and enjoy them without succumbing to Cheeto hand. This will allow you to increase your product output because you don't have to go and wash your hands, which would be consuming time that you need for your productivity. So that is stuff that's bad. That's terrible. Filling yourself with snacks like that, it is the worst advice I could give you. It is going to take a huge hit on your health, but it works. It allowed me to keep my productivity at an unreal level, just insane levels of productivity. So there it is. Now I want to share something else with you. These are a different kind of snack. These are handmade honey nougat. Quite lovely. Look at those nougat chocolates. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Here we have fig, macadamia, and ginger. These say they are handcrafted. These look quite lovely. Looks like a fine snack. And we have salted caramel nougat biscuits. These are quite lovely as well. So these are different. These are very different from Cheetos, from Doritos. I don't recognize these from my childhood. These are something that I've never seen before. The reason why I'm showing you these, it's not because that, oh, these are more expensive, they're a better item, or they're healthier for you. That's not it. These were given to me by a friend yesterday who came over. And the reason why these are different and these are special is that a friend thought of me and he picked these up and he brought them over for me. When you are young, it's common to feel like you are alone. But the older that you grow, the more you will understand the ever-widening bottomless chasm that is true loneliness. And you will learn, as you grow older, what it feels like to be alone. So why do we feel the need to amass so many material items? We are afraid of having nothing. When you are young, you may feel like you don't have enough, but the older you grow, the more you will understand how little you actually have. And it is terrifying because you gain an understanding that nothing you have actually belongs to you. These are just cookies. You know, they're not valuable. They're not, you know, anything crazy, but they represent something. They represent someone who thought of me. Someone went out of their way and they did something for me. And even if it is something small, showing someone that you thought of them and showing someone that you care about them, it's one of the few things that we actually have as people. It's one of the very few things that we can do to actually make someone's day a little bit better. And I'm going to savor these small, beautiful moments in my life. What you do with your life is totally up to you. So that is the advice that I wanted to share with you today. It's bad. This is bad advice, but it worked. If you have enjoyed my channel, if you like these videos that are, you know, these aren't really kind of videos that do well on YouTube, but if you enjoy the YouTube channel here, there is something that you can do to help me. And that's something, if you want to help me grow this channel, is call your parents, tell them you love them, organize to have lunch with them. Don't send them a text message and wait for their reply. You call them, tell them you love them, and just have lunch with them, or maybe dinner if you work during the day and you can't do lunch, then have dinner with your parents and just spend time with them. And that would be a huge help. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well, and be careful about my advice, because sometimes I might tell you to just eat a ton of chips and candy. I'll see you around.